5.
Fairfax Sports Network and Cox Communications is proud to present Northern Region Football. Northern Region Football is brought to you by Ford Quality Care Service Center. If you can drive it, they can take care of it for you. And by CCI Screen Printing, the complete apparel design company. If you can wear it, they can print something on it. And don't forget, you can find the Fairfax Sports Network on the web at fairfaxsportsnetwork.com. Tonight, it's a National District matchup, the Mount Vernon Majors and the Thomas Jefferson Colonials. Good evening, I'm Matt Fetters along with Chris Mader and Jill Marvin. And as we take a look at these two teams, Chris, the thing that jumps out is Thomas Jefferson Colonials are just having an outstanding season.
They absolutely are. The National District isn't really a district that we know a whole lot about, and I'm learning as we go here. Thomas Jefferson is on top of the National District at 7-1. Mount Vernon having a decent season. They're at 5-3. They had a tough loss last week against Edison. Thomas Jefferson won last week 35-0. They're led by junior quarterback Matt Wong. Now, he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not necessarily the fastest guy in the world, but he's pretty much the centerpiece of their offense. He has done almost 90% of their touchdowns for the season. He's affiliated with it in passing and running. So, you know, Matt Wong is the leader of this team. They're 7-1 this year. This school has been in existence since 1986, Matt, and they've only made the playoffs once, and that was 1988. By the looks of it, they're going to make the playoffs this season.
As you watch the captains out at midfield, looks like Mount Vernon has won the toss. And Jill Marvin's ready down the field. Let's go down to Jill.
Tonight is Jefferson's senior night, which means this could be the last home game that these players play on their home field. I talked with Jefferson's head coach, Tim O'Reilly. He said this is the largest senior class that he has coached, but with that large class comes tons of leadership. He says one of the things the seniors try and do is really cultivate the underclassmen and lead by example. I'm sure these seniors are hoping to get into postseason play, as it could be their first appearance in the last 15 years. Guys, back to you.
And as we said, the Colonials 7-1 on this season, 5-0 in the National District. And tonight's a big night. If they can get past the majors, then the team that sits in second place in the National District awaits them, Edison Eagles. For the Mount Vernon Majors, as we said, 5-3, 3-2 in the district. And if they want to stay in the playoff picture and jumble things up a little bit in the National, the big win they need here tonight.
You take a look at Matt Wong, number 7 right there. He's listed at 5'11", 175 pounds, but when you and I were down there on the field before the game, he didn't even really look like he was at 5'9", 175. However, I believe you talked to the coach about a couple things, and where does he exactly at his best?
Coach told me he is at his best when things are the worst.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. So when things are falling apart for Thomas Jefferson, the quarterback, the leader, Matt Wong, steps up and attempts to make everything better as we're down to the field for the kickoff.
Kickoff rolls into the end zone, and the Colonials bring it out 1st and 10 from their own 20, where they will start their first series of the evening.
First down for the Colonials on the 20-yard line.
We are at Robert A. Evans Stadium, which is the field of Thomas Jefferson Science and Technology High School. Kind of in between Annandale and Fairfax and Alexandria. We don't really have a location here. We're in the middle of nowhere. We are at Alexandria, I was just told. Okay.
Out of the shotgun, the Colonials on 1st and 10. Come out throwing. Got his man across midfield. Quickly across midfield, all the way. Touchdown. Wow.
They didn't waste too much time on that one.
Not at all.
That was number 3, Will Averill, wide receiver, one of Wong's favorite targets this season. Averill coming into tonight's game with 8 touchdown catches already, 31 catches on the year for almost 600 yards. Added the 9th right there. And all of a sudden, it's 6-0 right off the bat.
80-yard touchdown strike. And they're on for the point after. Good snap, hold, kick is up, and it is no good.
Oh.
So with 11:49 on the clock, the Colonials strike early and lead 6-0 over the Mount Vernon Majors.
Before that catch, Will Averill, like I said, is the favorite target for Wong. We take a look at the replay here. Just a quick slant,
yep.
And Averill just blew by the secondary. You see number 11 there, had no chance at him. And you take a look at the speed of Averill, 80 yards for the score, and 6-0 right off the bat. Thomas Jefferson showing a glimpse of why they are 7-1 this year. Their only loss of the year coming to a very strong Westfield team. Westfield, of course, the defending state champion. So if you're going to lose a game, lose to the defending state champs. That's not too shabby.
Number 81, Jay Singh, to kick for the Colonials.
This is Coach O'Reilly, Tim O'Reilly's 4th season with TJ. And as I said before, they've only made the playoffs once. The school started in 1986. They made it in 88. They have not made it since. So the school is known for their academics, a couple other things, but definitely not their football team. So it's a bonus that they're having a great season this year. And it's got everybody a little excited to come to the games, and they got some winners to cheer for.
Yep. Connor Rissamano, you saw back deep for the Colonials, rather the Majors, rather. And short hops him, and he scoops it up at about the 8, takes it right up the gut, all the way up to the 25.
That's Mario Coleman, number 2 for Mount Vernon. Now he's the go-to guy for Mount Vernon's offense. Coming in tonight, into tonight's game, he's the leading rusher for Mount Vernon. 104 carries on the year, 638 yards, 4 touchdowns scored on the ground. Also has 4 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns scored from in the air. So he's their most versatile guy. He's a senior leader. And I was told he spent a lot of time in the weight room in the offseason. He's bulked up for this season.
Coleman, good job. Get him up to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 now from the 25. Trying to get it right up the gut. Gain of about 3 on the play.
Carries by Mario
Thomas Jefferson in the red, white, blue uniforms. Mount Vernon, of course, in the maroon and white.
Ball is on the 29.
Commented on
Second
the
down.
Thomas Jefferson's uniforms before the game. They resemble the New England Patriots a lot because of the colors. And also the emblem on the side of their helmet is very close to the New England Patriots.
Second down.
2nd and 6 now. Coleman again. This time he's stacked up at the line. No gain, and a flag is thrown.
On the stop, number
First
70
flag of
for
the game.
Colonials, William Leposki. There is a flag on the play.
Take a look as you see the referees talking it over, and looks like we'll get a call from the head judge. It's going to be a face mask penalty against Thomas Jefferson.
Penalty is against
So that should move the chains, if I'm not mistaken, and give Mount Vernon a fresh set of downs. There we go.
Yep.
The Mount Vernon offense came out of the huddle and was unaware.
Just short.
Colonials moves the ball to the
Just short.
34-yard
Up to the 34.
All right.
2nd and about 1 now for Mount Vernon. 10:58 to play here in the first period. No score.
And we're back to it.
Pulls on, does Riley, trying to get around the left side. He's got enough for the 1st down, up across the 40 to about the 43.
Nice tackle from behind by number 3, William Averill. Wide receiver also showing his speed on defense, running down the quarterback before he could get around the corner too much. Of course, he only needed a yard. He did pick up the 1st down. Still Averill there, number 3. He's dropping back in the safety position.
Make it 1st and 10 now, up at the 43-yard line, we'll call it. Clock rolling along, 10:18 to play here in the 1st quarter. Majors out of that stacked eye. Last back through, stuffed right at the line for no gain.
Into the Colonial line.
That was Coleman again, as you said, and you know, he is the bull for this team. He's the guy that's going to get almost all the carries. He's rushed for you know, just over 2,000 carries combined in the last 2 seasons. You take a look at the quarterback handing off to Coleman. Not really much there. Thomas Jefferson's interior line just golfed him right up. Golf. A word, golf him right up.
Lepovsky coming up to make the stop with a couple other blue shirts there for TJ. 2nd and 9 now for the Majors. Back to passes Riley. Guns it down the left side. Got a man a little too far.
Tell you what, not only did he have a man in E.J. Dawson, his wide receiver, but E.J. Dawson had more than one step on the defensive back that was trying to cover him. And I don't know if he just didn't run full speed because that was a touchdown all the way. It was a great pass by the quarterback. But I see number 11 there. He just didn't run full speed the entire time. Otherwise, I think he could have caught up to it.
You're going to blame him, not the overthrow.
I think it was a nice pass.
Okay.
Because I was watching him. It looked like he hesitated a little bit.
All right. Make it 3rd and 9 now for the Majors. This drive starting to stall out just a little bit as they approach midfield. Riley on the keeper around the right side. He's looking for the corner. He's got it. Looks like he's got another first down.
So Patrick Riley, who has, over 600 yards rushing on the season himself. So he actually has, let's see, coming in tonight's game, just under the total of what Coleman has. And he also has six rushing touchdowns to go along with his 5 passing touchdowns. So both of these quarterbacks lead their teams through the air and on the ground.
So timeout. TJ, I believe, took the timeout. So clock stands at 9:21 here in the first. A 6-0 TJ lead over Mount Vernon. Both of these teams, similar defenses coming into this contest. Jefferson giving up just under 12 points a game, and Mount Vernon a solid 10 points per game. Mount Vernon only with 2 shutouts on the season against Washington Lee and Falls Church, but they haven't given up more than 21 points in a single game.
Last week, Mount Vernon fell short against Edison. For Edison, Kevin Robertson, Devin Clark both scored touchdowns to lead Edison over Mount Vernon, which dropped Mount Vernon to 3-2 in the district. Edison currently standing at 6-2. They're second along with Yorktown, right below Thomas Jefferson in the National District.
So 1st and 10 now for the Majors at the TJ 45. Riley gives to the middle back this time, around the right side. Scoots it up just short of the 40 is E.J. Dawson.
Majors moving to just beyond the 40-yard line.
And the Majors are going to just fall short of the 40, it looks like. And slowly but surely, they're moving the chains a little bit, whether it's by penalties or last-second first downs. The clock continues to roll. And you commented on the first red scoreboard we've seen in a heck of a long time.
Yeah, the lights in the scoreboard are red. Haven't seen that in quite a while. Make it 2nd and we'll call it 4. A long 4 for the Majors. Riley looking to pass. Lots of pressure. Dropped at the 50.
That was number 5. Oh, you're going to have to help me out with this one, bud. Number 5 for the Colonials. You want to make an attempt?
Go ahead. Take a
All
shot.
right, here we go. Number
I haven't
5,
had it out.
Number 5 for the Colonials.
Abajidi.
Yusuf Abajidi.
Yep.
Along with number 40. Take a look here. The
Yep.
quarterback had no chance, and they'll each get credit for the assist on that sack, along with number I believe that was number 40, who I can't pronounce his name either, but.
Shea.
All right, here we go. We have everybody up at the booth seeing us drown.
Make it 3rd and 11 now. Riley back to pass. Flicks it out to the right. Got a receiver. Also out of bounds, though. Back to about the original line of scrimmage. C.J. Smith, the receiver.
And it will be a 4th down for the Majors.
Nice catch by Smith, but when he made the catch, he was well short of the first down, and he had no chance because he was wrapped right up by the defensive back. Had no chance at getting some yards after the catch. We'll see our first punt of the night.
Majors will have to kick it away. You see all number 9, Chris Monahan, back for TJ.
Straight up in the air.
With a fair catch called for, but it'll be down at about the 18-yard line. So in case you're just joining us, TJ on the first possession, first play of the evening, an 80-yard touchdown strike to Will Averill. That's how they started ball game. Now,
Averill coming into tonight's game, 2nd in the district in receiving.
they'll start 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Ball's on the 17-yard line. 1st down, Colonials.
Inside of 7 minutes, clock stands at 6:58 to play here in the first. Out of the shotgun, Wong back. Looking for a receiver, he's got his man up across the 20 to about the 22. Greg Tabbitt, the receiver.
Greg Tabbitt with the catch, and right off the bat, you see the maturity from Wong. Rolled out, wasn't really under pressure, kind of created his own space and found the open guy. Excited to see Matt Wong play tonight.
2nd and 6 now for the Colonials. Up across the 25 to about the 27.
Matt Wong last week against Washington Lee, they won 35-0, obviously improving their record to 7-1. Now, he was 14 for 25 for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air, Matt. Okay, that's not bad for a quarterback, right? But also, he had 19 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he accounted for 5 of the touchdowns last week in their win. Unbelievable. Averill last week had 5 catches for 69 yards. But Wong is very, very deadly from all angles.
3rd and short. Trying to get it. I don't know if he got it or not. He was wrapped up and pulled back. It's going to be close. Stephen Lee, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I think he's going to fall short, and we might see. Oh, no, they're giving him the first down. So they'll move the chains, and they'll continue their drive on their own 28-yard line. Senior night here in Alexandria. You see Wong keep the ball, but was wrapped up nicely by number 56, which is Stephen Beach of Mount Vernon. Now Wong got the ball in the shotgun and had all intentions of going to the left side and using his speed and his running ability, but was wrapped up immediately at the line. Pretty much no gain.
2nd and 8 now for the Colonials at their own 30-yard line. Wong again out of the shotgun. It'll be case all night long. 4:47 to play in the first quarter. Wong flicks it out to his receiver up across the 35. Hustled out of bounds at about the 37. Shane Warren, the receiver, on the end of the Wong pass.
Shane Warren makes a catch there, and he'll join everybody else. Wong tries to distribute the ball evenly amongst his receivers. He has 3 or 4 that'll.
Wong will keep it on 3rd and short. I think he's got enough for the first down.
Oh yeah, he definitely got it that time. That's for sure. Brought down by the line, but plenty of room for the first down.
Just up across the 40 at the 41. 1st and 10 now for TJ. 4:05 to play in the first quarter. TJ trying to add on to their 6-0 lead. Wong back to pass. Looking down the middle. Got a man up across the 50. Knocked out of bounds at the 45 of Mount Vernon.
Chris Monahan with the catch. So right there, you see what I mean. We've seen the ball go to Will Averill. We've seen the ball go to Shane Warren. We've seen the ball go to Chris Monahan. So Wong, you know, not very picky with his receivers. He distributes it all over the field, and to all 3 of his receivers. Those 3 receivers that I just named are in the top 5 in receiving in the district.
1st and 10 now at the 45 of Mount Vernon. Pitch to the outside, up across the 40 to the 35.
It looked like number 22 from here.
Or 23, Greg Tabbitt.
Greg Tabbitt, excuse me. So, you know, again, you see Wong right off the bat how versatile he is. He ran the option there. Didn't hold on to it that long. We'll see him start to the right-hand side. He's got his tailback right behind him. Usually the quarterback holds it for a little longer than that, but he pitched it right away, and it worked out well. He moved the chains.
1st and 10 from the Mount Vernon 34. Wong on the keeper, trying to get it straight up the middle, but he's wrapped up. Gain of maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe 1 or 2, and the reason is because number 52, Chad King, defensive lineman, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds from Mount Vernon, wrapped him up immediately. We're seeing some nice tackling by Mount Vernon's defense so far tonight.
So give them 2, make it 2nd and 8. 3:20 to play in the first. Stacked up again at the line.
Carry by
Again, number 52, King, pulling him back.
Yep, Tabbitt the ball carrier.
on the stop for the Majors, number 52, Chad King.
So we'll see if TJ, Thomas Jefferson, decides to keep the ball in the air, because that has been working for him tonight. However, other than that option a couple plays ago, their ground game really hasn't gotten on the run.
Third down.
3rd and 10 now for Wong and company. Receivers split to either side. A pair on each way. Man in motion down to the bottom. Wong looking to his right. Looking. He'll tuck it down and run. Gets to the 30 before he's wrapped up and dropped.
And guess who made the tackle?
Mr. King?
Chad King again.
All
That's
right.
3 plays in a row that Mr. King was involved on the tackle. That one was definitely a first down saving tackle, because Wong, with his legs, not shy of running the ball. And, you know, like I said, coming into this game, leading his team in passing and rushing, but wrapped up by King. Nice tackle.
So they set up for what will amount to a
Long field goal.
47-yard field goal attempt.
Jeez.
It's down. Kick is up. I don't think he got enough leg. No.
Goal attempt by Jay Singh.
The 47-yarder by Jay Singh drops into the end zone, and we are still 6-0 TJ with 1:50 to play in the first.
Tell you what, that's a valiant attempt for a high school kicker to try to attempt to kick the ball 47 yards. You can't even see half the college kickers in this country kick the ball that far. So a valiant attempt by Jay Singh, but fell up short, and because of that, Mount Vernon's going to get the ball with decent field position.
You think that's true?
Hey, you know what?
Half of the college kickers
Well, you know,
couldn't kick
okay.
a 47.
I'm
Think that's true?
stretching it a little bit, but they can't kick it straight 47 yards.
Okay.
I mean, I could probably kick it 47, but it would go backwards. You know, my point is they can't kick it straight 47 yards.
Cross-country boys coach is Matt Bryant with assistance
So the Majors will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Cross-country boys just one.
Take a look at Riley there. The
Riley. Coleman around the right side. Picks up a couple.
Carried by Patrick Riley, number 13.
Again, we were blessed with half-decent weather. The skies are clear, and it's a good night for Friday night football here in Alexandria, but it is starting to get very chilly outside. The temperature seems to decrease every half an hour, and I was attempted, Matt, to get my first cup of hot chocolate
I
of
was
the
going to
season.
say, it's almost cocoa
No,
weather.
Almost. I have a feeling starting next week I'm going to be bringing in by the gallons.
2nd and 7 will call for the Majors. 1:12 to play here in the first. Majors down 6-0. Spinning his way up across the 25 to about the 26 or 27, number 16, Alfonso Wells.
Alfonso Wells, number 16, into the Colonials line. The ball is on the 27-yard line, 3rd and 3, Majors.
Clock rolling down here in the first quarter, inside of 35 seconds to play. Patrick Riley brings his Majors up. One receiver way down the left, one up there to the short side on the right, out of the stacked eye.
Here we
Still
go.
on his feet. Up across the 45 to about the 43. Alfonso Wells tried to make a move and then slipped a little bit out in the wet grass.
He only had one man to beat, number 21, Shane Warren, of Thomas Jefferson's secondary. And as he was trying to make the cutback, he went down. He kind of tackled himself. So a touchdown saving tackle. You see here, gets through, almost wrapped up, gets
back,
through
yep.
first and second tiers with no problem. You see Warren, number 21. You know, he could have cut right back because Warren didn't have a good angle on him, but he slipped up on the grass out there, and that's going to be the last play of the first quarter, Matt.
Yep, so time rolls out here in the first, and at the end of one, it's TJ 6, Mount Vernon 0.
And that is the end of the first quarter.
So Mr. Wong comes out firing on their first play from scrimmage, connects on an 80-yard touchdown pass, but ever since then, the Mount Vernon defense has been able to shut down these Colonial scoring machines.
Yeah, we're not really, we don't do a lot of national district games. When I say do, I mean by Fairfax Sports Network, along with Cox Cable Channel 35. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight. I've learned a lot about some of these, both of these schools. Thomas Jefferson in particular, known for their academics of Northern Virginia. They kind of, they do a lot of academic recruiting throughout Northern Virginia, mostly Fairfax County. But, they do scatter a little bit beyond that. But definitely not really known for their football team, that's for sure. We only make the playoffs once in the last, 16 years, 17 years. When you have a winning record like this, 7-1, and your only loss coming against a strong team, that's impressive. It gets these people a little excited. And it's a pleasure being here watching Mount Wong. We've been waiting for this night for a while.
Yep, we have. Jefferson Colonial has been scoring just under 30 points per game this season. Majors now, 1st and 10. Hit at the line and dropped straight back. Coleman, nobody there to open the door.
Well, that's because number 49, Chris Peterson, had the door locked. He wasn't letting anybody go through that, along with the rest of the line. And number 49, Peterson, just kind of bounced off a brick wall right there. He had nowhere to go. No hole open whatsoever. Take a look at the replay. He goes, and bam, just gets bounced right off.
His linebackers doing a great job of filling in there on the line to shut it down.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10 now from the 43. Riley looks things over. One receiver way up to his left-hand side. Wells, the ball carrier, behind that surging line inside the 40 to about the 36.
Into a gaggle of Colonials into the line. Majors move the ball to the 38-yard line, 3rd down.
3rd down, about 4 now for Mount Vernon at the 38 of TJ.
It's the Majors against the Colonials. Colonials against the Majors.
3rd down.
That's what I said.
Riley on 3rd, bobbled the snap.
Uh-oh.
Fumble on the play.
We'll have to wait and see who comes up with that ball.
Waiting for the referee to make a signal
Like
there.
Alfonso Wells fell on it. I think it'll still be Mount Vernon football.
Yeah, Wells did fall back on it, so Mount Vernon will keep possession.
Ball is on the 37.
But that's going to make it 4th down.
Yep, they'll have to punt.
Unless they want to try like a, 97-yard field goal here. Couldn't be 97, but it'd be long.
Hakeem Gadiaga out to punt for the Majors.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Pronounced it very well.
Thank you.
Hakeem Gadiaga will kick for the Majors.
You've always been better at names than me.
Gadiaga gets it away, end over end. They're going to let this one go, and it just gets into the end zone.
It'll be a 1st down for the Colonials at the 20-yard
Took some of those weird bounces there. It looked like it had plenty of momentum to get into the end zone for a touchback, but after the first initial bounce, it kind of took a squiggly weird bounce, and it almost looked like it wasn't going to get in there. Take a look at this. Yes, it
How
did.
about those stars in the back of their helmets, huh?
Yeah.
Those good job stars.
Is that what they are? Good job, stars?
I would think so.
Kind of like you get an A on a paper, they put a scratch and sniff sticker on there. Good job.
I didn't get scratch and sniff. You got scratch and sniff?
I absolutely did.
What were the smells?
Of orange, pineapple, banana.
Okay. 1st and 10 for TJ from their own 20. Wong will run with it. Up across the 25 to about the 28.
I'm not sure if Wong, when he drops back to pass, he's got 3 good wide receivers. Wong obviously has a good arm. You see him there, number 7, pulling grass out of his helmet. He's a junior, but he's leading this team, in just an outstanding way. It almost looks like, I don't know if he deliberately breaks up the passing plays and chooses to run or what, but he wasn't even under pressure and he chose to run, so maybe it was designed that way.
2nd and 1 now for the Colonials. Wong out of the shotgun, looking for a hole. Gets rid of it. Oh, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. It falls incomplete.
Pass intended for number 85, Ryan Nicholas. It's incomplete.
Ryan Nicholas, number 85, was the intended receiver. I'm not sure if he heard the footsteps from the linebacker behind him getting ready to crunch him if he made the catch. But nice play by Wong to get out and find the open man. They are still short of the first down here, obviously. So let's see what they put together now.
Not taking any time at all. Again on 3rd and 1. 8:51 to play in the first half. Wong looks down the middle, tucks it in.
Carry is by number 7, Matt Wong.
A loss of maybe a yard on the play.
There's a loss on the play.
Brought down by number 55, Justin Sparks, along with number 68, Chris Carter. Some big guys on that line from Mount Vernon.
On the stop. Ball is back on the 29-yard line. And it
Sparks is 5'10", 230. And then the other guy, Carter, is 5'10", 240. So there's some beef on that line.
So TJ will have to kick it away. A wobbler.
kick by Ryan
It's a
Nicholas.
sideways hop, the punt from Nicholas.
The ball is down at the 45-yard
And they down it at the 45, where the Majors will take over with 8:04 remaining in the first half.
He's down by number 12, Jeff Cliff, I believe.
cheerleader of the second quarter, Pamela Weed.
So as I said before, it is senior night here. We got to see all the parents and the students escort their parents before the game. It's always nice for the pleasure to be a part of the extracurricular activities that the Northern Virginia high schools have. Last week it was the homecoming and or prom or whatever. I think it was homecoming. And this week is the senior night. Next to last regular season game of the year that Fairfax Sports Network will be covering this season.
But then we'll have a whole slate of playoff action for you, so stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
Patrick Riley brings his Majors out, 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Coleman around the left side, he's got some room, making some moves. He's got the first down, gets it down to the 40-yard line.
That was the first real impressive run by Coleman. I mean, it was only about a 12-yard. It picked him the first down. But, you know, to be able to get hit like that, bounce off with no problem. And when a running back can bounce off a tackler, that's what makes him dangerous. Because then he creates a whole different space to run that, you know, that he didn't have before. And he tried to make something happen. You see here the quarterback with the handoff. Coleman initially gets hit, boom, bounces off to the side, tries to make another cutback here, but brought down by a handful of Thomas Jefferson defenders. Nice run.
Gain of 15 on that run. Make it 1st and 10 now from the 40 of TJ. Alfonso Wells, the ball carrier, gain of about 2 or 3.
Into the Colonial line. Majors move the ball to the 38. Second down.
Mount Vernon, coached by
Second and
Jody
8
Stone.
for the Majors.
And you know, Mount Vernon 5-3. That, you know, they've really had a lot of close games this year, Matt.
Yep, just a handful of plays away from being the leader in this national district.
Right.
2nd and 8 now for the Majors. Fumble.
Ooh.
And
And I believe the quarterback
I
might have
think
got
it
lucky.
maybe came back to Riley.
Wow.
For a second there, it looked like TJ was going to have it, but it squirted back to Patrick Riley, and he covered it up for the Majors.
So the quarterback, Patrick Riley, who was 5 yards behind the play, the ball bounced back to him. He recovered it, luckily, because it looked like for sure that was going to be a turnover, and Thomas Jefferson was going to get the ball with good field position. Take a look at here, Riley, you know, just miscommunication handing the ball off here. And either that or the fullback just got in the way of the pitch.
Yeah.
But the ball and then bounced back to the quarterback. Luckily, he fell back on it. We'll see if they can pick up a first down here.
3rd and 11 now for the Majors. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Ariel Coleman, the ball carrier. And the blue shirts stuff him after he picks up about 1.
Coleman, number 2 there. Running back / defensive back. 5'8", 175. Senior. Trying to lead this team, but had nowhere to go on that play.
Bring up 4th down for Mount Vernon. Gadiaga on to punts.
4th down.
Good snap. Gadiaga gets it away. Big boomer. It rolls into the end zone, and TJ will get it out on their own 20.
You see the difference in the bounces. That I mean, that bounce, you know, for sure we knew that was going in.
TJ will have 5:15 to work with here in the first half, up 6-0.
Thomas Jefferson is definitely a unique school here in Fairfax County. Their football practices start pretty much an hour later than every other school in Northern Virginia. And their practices don't start till about 4 because their last class gets out at like 3:40 or 3:50. So they go later and they start later and they go later every day.
Wong out of the shotgun, has been the case all night. Pairs of receivers on either side, looking down the middle. He's got a man open. He's got him. Down inside the 40, 35 to the 30-yard line.
On the stop for the Majors.
How about that? Number 21 with the catch.
Yep.
Take a look at the replay here. Watch Wong.
Shane Warren will be your receiver.
Drop back. Just bombed it.
Warren's got a couple steps on the defensive back. Gets it inside the 40, inside the 35.
Take a look.
Mark it at the 30.
Excuse me, Matt. Take a look at why Wong is leading the region in passing as a junior.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of Mount Vernon. Wong to pass again. Picked off. No, taken right there. In and touchdown. Got my colors mixed up there for a second.
Wow, I believe that was number 8. Shane
Nope,
Miller.
number 9, Chris
number 9,
Monahan.
It was Chris Monahan.
Yep.
So Wong, who had great time. I mean, I got to tell you, he had time to stay in the pocket. He didn't have to scramble. He had plenty of time to find Monahan, who was open. I mean,
He was wide open.
He was wide open. And strong throw by Wong. So that entire drive was from Wong's arm. And, you know, if you thought we were kidding about his arm, right there was a serious display of talent on that drive for Thomas Jefferson.
Going for 2. They want to get back to 14. Wong on the keeper trying to go right, but no. They stop him short of the goal line. So with 4:43 to play in the first half, it'll be 12-0 Thomas Jefferson over the Mount Vernon Majors.
Take a look at this. Watch Wong get back. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 seconds. Finds the wide open wide receiver. Give credit to the offensive line there. And, of course, great catch. Touchdown.
Not to mention it was slow-mo.
Yeah, well, regardless. It still was. I was counting it in real life.
He did have lots of time.
Must you steal all my thunder all the time?
Well, when it's so glaring like that, I have to.
Unbelievable.
I'm just trying to make you better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do.
And I believe the producer just helped me out saying that in slow motion it was 8 seconds. So in real motion it was
Probably
at least
4.
4.
Yep.
4
You
to
got
5.
it. You got it.
Pushing 5. Regardless, it was the quarterback can't be successful on any level, but especially the high school level without an offensive line that works together. And you see Wong this season and tonight in particular, the offensive line is working, and he's picking apart this Mount Vernon defense.
You saw Coleman back deep for the Majors to receive this kickoff. Just itching to get that ball and see if he can make something happen with 4:43 left in the first half.
Itching and scratching.
Short, end over end, taken all the way up to 25. Cracks his way up across the 30 to the 35.
And that was number 12 for Mount Vernon. That's Tyler Martin.
So Martin gets it up to the 35. Nice field position for the Majors. They've got 4:37 on the clock. They're down 12-zip.
Here at Robert A. Evans Stadium, who I was told was an older athletic director here a long time ago. And then they named the stadium after him.
Riley brings his Majors up. 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 4:37 left in the first half. They're down 12-zip. Riley back to pass. Flicks it over the middle. Falls incomplete. Trying to shoot it out there to C.J. Smith. But a flag is down.
You know what? Number 3 was the intended receiver, and I think number 3 for the Colonials is going to get called for. I'm not sure if it's going to be pass interference. Could be a late hit, but that flag did come in late, and the referee that was standing right in front of him threw it. And they're conversing. We'll see.
So I think Averill might be charged with this penalty.
It is against Thomas Jefferson.
Yep. Pass interference is the call. So it's a big one. He'll take him all the way up to midfield.
That is a big one.
The ball will be spotted at the 50-yard line.
First down for Mount Vernon.
Yep.
That's one way to.
15-yard pickup.
That's just as good as a completion or a big run.
Just a reminder that this program is actually being recorded.
First and 10 from midfield for the Majors.
Sports Network. It'll be the game of the week.
Again, out of that stacked eye. Receivers to either side for Riley. First back, no. Riley on the keeper. Gets it up across the 45, inside the 45, just.
Riley with a nice fake to his fullback, and then followed him through the hole that he attempted to open up for him. Picked up a good gain of 5 yards on that. Take a look at 13, faking to his fullback, and then just kind of following his lead along with the ends that opened up the hole. Nice 5-yard run. The clock continues to roll here, though. I'm sure they would definitely love to get on the scoreboard here before the half.
Just inside the 45-yard line. 3:54 left in the first half. Clock rolling along. Riley sorts things out with his linemen. Again, receiver split to either side. Here we go, trying to go around the right-hand side. E.J. Dawson. Also out of bounds at the 40.
Dawson smartly got out of bounds and stopped the clock with 3:38 left. Picks up the first down. That's going to move the chains. Well, they haven't signaled for the first down yet, but it looks like he got it. And maybe they might have a measurement here.
Yeah, I think they are. Yep, they're going to bring the chains out and measure.
They're going to change out the measure. It looks like to me like he got it, but it's going to be close because in order to get a first down, they had to get to the 40. Pretty much right on the 40. And it looks like the ball is right on the 40. So they have a new set of downs here with plenty of time left to go here. Put some points on the board.
Nope, they're not going to measure it. Some of these, no, yeah, here they come. Took their time about it. Well, when you look at the common opponents that these two teams have played, they've both knocked off Falls Church, Stewart, Washington Lee, and Langley, but they split on Yorktown. TJ defeated Yorktown 28-14, and Mount Vernon lost 10-14. Mount Vernon has already played Edison, and they came out on the short end of that one, 7-14. And as we said, TJ will have the Edison Eagles next week.
That was, in fact, a first down.
First and 10 from the 40.
The ball is in Colonial territory at the 40-yard line. 3:38 remaining in the half.
Thomas Jefferson coming off 2 big weeks. They won 35-0 last week and then 49-0 the week before.
4 times they've scored 35 points or more, have the Colonials.
And not only that, but their defense is coming off back-to-back shutouts. And right now they have a shutout here in the first half.
So now the penalty flag takes the ball back in the other direction against Mount Vernon. False start, so it'll take it back to the 45 of TJ.
Take a look at the false start here. I believe that came on the on the left side. That wasn't even close. That's a legal procedure. Nothing like an illegal procedure call to damper the mood of the head coach. You get the ball moving, the chains going your way, and then a false start just throws it right back the defense's way.
First and 15 now for the Majors. Riley back to pass. Down the left side, nobody there, falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's not going to be, his wide receiver fell flat on his face there. That was number 4, I believe, from Mount Vernon, which is Hakeem Gadiaga, and he just fell. I don't think he could have caught up to that anyway because that ball was thrown extremely well, not necessarily, but extremely long.
Can I just say one thing?
Fire away.
Nice job.
But did I pronounce the name right?
Yeah.
Hey, every now and then I show a flash of talent, Matt. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I think I was meant to be a broadcaster. So we'll see what happens here. And I believe is it going to make it second down?
Yep,
Third down.
second and 15 now from TJ's 45. 3.5 minutes to play in this first half. Riley, left side, still on his feet. It's going to be close to the first down.
Nice play, avoiding a couple tackles there. Getting close to picking up the first down.
That was Shane Warren coming over to make the stop for TJ.
Should have been brought down by Will Averill, who missed the tackle. You take a look here. Fakes the pitch, goes around the left-hand side. You see Averill come on from your screen, misses him. Nice cutback, picks up the first down, but fails to get out of bounds, so the clock continues to roll, even though right now the clock is stopped because we have a timeout from the Majors.
Sort things out with 3:08 to play here in the first half.
Excuse me, that was Will Averill, not Averill.
Ball was just short of the 30-yard line. Good turnout here tonight. Colonials should have a good turnout with the kind of season they're having. Undefeated within their district, 7-1 on the season. Well, that side of the bleachers pretty much filled in, but down here to our left, it's pretty empty.
Curious why? Where's the band at?
They can do better. They're probably getting ready for halftime.
See, that's what it is. The
There's only
band,
3:08.
yeah, the band usually takes up, you know, a whole section. Got the commentator telling everybody that we'll be on every night at 6 p.m. this week, along with 5 a.m. in the morning.
You get up for that one, don't you?
And I haven't even gone to bed yet by 5.
Third and short. They got the first down. A little bit more. Coleman tries to cut it outside and slips and goes down at the 25-yard line.
There's a chance the clock has not started back rolling yet.
Yeah,
It just, there you go, it just got going. For about 10 seconds there, it had a pause.
You would think they'd get that thing cranking here at the home of your Colonial.
Right.
Need that hometown clock operator.
Hometown clock operator. Never heard it put that way before.
The 1st and 10 now from the 25 for the Majors. Down 12-0. Riley, same formation they've been running out of all night. That big stack eye with receiver split way out to either side. I believe the ball was to Wells. Picks up about 1.
Yeah, nothing fancy about their offense so far. Riley has, you know, attempted to make some passes, but pretty much just smash mouth football. Riley taking a couple bootlegs and things like that, but no fancy formations, no, you know, 4 wideouts, nothing like that.
It's 2nd and 8 now.
2 minutes remain in the half.
23-yard line of TJ. Just inside 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
2nd down.
Riley on 2nd and 8. Coleman busted out to the left.
Ooh.
It's going to be close to the first down.
Brought down by number 40 of the Colonials.
Colonials number 40,
Shea
Shea Ayarende.
Ayarende.
Thank you. You saw me pause in mid-action right there.
Shane Ayarende.
Shane Ayarende, which I do not understand how that's pronounced, Shane, but you take a look at the replay, and nice cutback there, avoids a couple tackles. They're not hitting them low, and they're not strong enough to bring them down, but brought down after a first down.
Yep, and it is a first down now. It's 15-yard line. And we should say it's not Shane, but Shea.
Shea.
I think I said Shane. It's Shea.
You did. Shea Ayarende.
Yep. Keeping us on our toes. 1st and 10 now from the 15.
Sports program, Luke Frills.
8th play of this major drive. 1:15 to play in the first half. Trying to get within a touchdown of the Majors. Coleman, left side.
Nope.
Got some room.
See you later.
Touchdown.
Number 2, Mario Coleman.
Mario Coleman with a 15-yard run around the left side. Finally gets 6 on the board for the Majors.
Well, how about that? Coleman, you know, flashing some serious, much-needed offense for this Mount Vernon team. Coleman coming into tonight's game with 4 rushing touchdowns. We were talking about TJ's defense, back-to-back shutouts, and then also had a shutout here in the first half. Coleman, nice touchdown run.
Extra point attempt will be by Jose Paz.
Jose Paz on for the extra point. And I think somebody got a hand on it, and that one will fall short.
The extra point is no
So
good.
with 1:04 to play in the first half, it's Thomas Jefferson 12, Mount Vernon 6.
So we have yet to see a PAT get completed tonight.
Yep.
So take a look at the Coleman touchdown run. Pretty much untouched, just shows his speed. Once he got around that corner, that was it. He hit the corner of the end zone before anybody else did.
Got around the left side, found plenty of open space, and just scampered in.
6 points. We have yet to see, as I was saying, an extra point made tonight. Thomas Jefferson failed on their first attempt and then tried to redeem themselves by going for 2 after their second score, which fell short. And then on Mount Vernon's first touchdown, going for the kick, the kick got partially blocked and deflected. So at that, we stand at 12-6. Take a look at the dance team, I believe.
Good look at the Jefferson dancers. They're getting ready to go on here at halftime with 1:04 before halftime. Thanks for joining us for the FSN Cox 35 Game of the Week. Matt Feathers along with Chris Mader and Jill Marvin. Jill will be tracking down the coaches at halftime, and she'll have their thoughts when we come back to begin the second half.
Number 35 is Jose Paz.
Paz gets this one going. It stays in bounds. It's going to roll into the end zone. It'll come out for Jefferson Colonials, first and 10 at their own 20. That one looked like it was going to roll out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, that was dangerous right there. Either way, if it would have rolled out of bounds at that 1-inch line, it'd have been a penalty flag, of course, and it had gotten better field position.
Yep.
But it did, however, get into the end zone for a touchback, so they started their own 20. So we'll see if they can drive the length of the field under Wong's arm with only 1:04 left.
First and 10 from their own 20. Up 12-6. Not Wong again. Receivers everywhere. Wong on first down to pass. Flicks it out to his left. Got his receiver, Monahan, up across the 30 to about the 34, 35.
Wong to Monahan again, moving the chains. Go look at number 7. Not a real built quarterback, but throws it as well as I've seen it being thrown all year of any of the high school quarterbacks we've covered.
Quick first down for TJ. Inside a minute to play here. 59 seconds on the clock in the first half. Wong looking. And almost very fumble, but he recovers it. Dropped all the way back inside the 25-yard line. Big play for the Majors, number 55.
That was Justin Sparks, number 55. That was a huge, huge play. Backed him up. I don't even know how many yards.
Hurrying up offense here for TJ. 35 seconds to play in the first half. Flicks it out to his receiver up across the 35. Shane Warren.
That was almost the exact same route that Monahan had run 2 previous plays ago. That play works for him. Now, I don't know if the defensive back is just laying off the wideouts too much, giving them too much breathing room. But for the ball to be in the air that long, defensive back is nowhere to be found.
3rd and 9 now. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Long rolling right, throwing right. Got his receiver just short of the first down.
There's Warren again.
Yep.
So Warren to the left, Warren to the right, stops the clock, moving the chains.
Stops the clock with 23 seconds left here in the first half.
I wonder what Wong's passing numbers are so far for this first half. They got to be above 200 yards passing.
See if we can find somebody at halftime who's keeping track of those stats.
Oh, we still don't have a research and development part of our show?
No, we still know R&D. 4th and short. Long back, throwing. Got his receiver up across the midfield inside the 45-yard line.
They call a timeout.
Monahan, the receiver.
And they did. And he's going to the left, he's going to the right, he's going down the middle. Like I said, Wong is really utilizing all of his receivers, not to mention all of the field.
Spreading the ball around. 1st and 10 now from the Mount Vernon 43-yard line, but a timeout on the field with 16 seconds to play in the first half.
Another 10, 15 yards, and they're within field goal range. But the way that Wong's throwing the ball, they're within touchdown range any play.
They're wearing skirts and shorts.
I'll tell you what,
Isn't it a little cold for that?
at halftime, I'll pay you $10 if you go down and dance with them for 5 minutes. $10. No? I didn't say you had to dress up as them. I just said you had to dance with them. But yes, it's definitely a little chilly tonight. It's getting colder as we speak. But good weather, good football weather. Just hot chocolate time, that's all. Still are delayed here because of the timeout by Jefferson. The coach running out of the huddle and see what Wong has up his sleeve.
Yep, it'll be interesting. One receiver way down to his left, bottom of your screen. Got the trio up there at top. Long, looking right. Here he goes. Now he gets rid of it, falls incomplete. Shane Warren, the intended receiver, fired at his feet though. Clock stops with 8 seconds left here in the first half.
I tell you what, I'm not going to say that Wong made the wrong decision by doing that, because he's looked dynamic tonight and making right decisions. But he knows it. He knows that obviously he made a bad throw. But you take a look here. He's got 3 wideouts to the right-hand side. He's looking. He can't find anybody open. Gets out of the pocket. Wants to go deep to the end zone, but falls short. He could have kept that ball and picked up another 15 yards himself. But again, would have burned off the rest of the time. So it might have been the right decision.
Long down, 2nd and 10. Mount Vernon 43. 8 seconds left on this clock in the first half. Long again to pass. Looking, tucks it in. Gets it inside the 40, just short of the 35, and that'll be the last play of the first half. So at the end of one half of play, it's Thomas Jefferson 12, Mount Vernon 6.
You know what? We came in here with high expectations and curiosity of this Thomas Jefferson football team, not to mention their leader, their quarterback, their junior quarterback, Wong, and he has done nothing but impress us this first half. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm going to guess he's got at least 200 yards passing. He's looking phenomenal and showing some serious maturity for only being a junior, Matt. And plenty of great things to come from this kid and this Thomas Jefferson football team starting in the second half.
Colonials up by 6 as we hit the intermission. Second half action coming right up. You're watching the FSN Cox 35 Game of the Week.
Forever, that can be kind of scary. The TJ dance team is hotter than ever.
How many games total? Yeah.
Okay, 12-6, Thomas Jefferson Colonials lead as Chris Mater sorts things out with the guys in the press box at halftime. We got some highlights for you from the first half if we have time to get to them, but it looks like they're ready to kick off, so I don't know if we'll get to them or not.
I didn't know we were live.
Yeah, always, my friend, always.
The mic is always on. That's what they tell you.
Yep,
Kickoff by
and we know who they are. Mario Coleman back deep to receive for the Majors from the 5-yard line. Up across the 15 where he spun down and dropped at about the 17.
So
Monahan, one of the blue shirts, in on the stop.
Coleman, excuse me, with the reception, the only player to get on the board for Mount Vernon in the first half.
15-yard touchdown run to make it 12-6. The other scoring, it was the first play from scrimmage for TJ. There's an 80-yard pass, Wong to Will Averill. Made it 6-0. They missed the point after. And then again, it was a 30-yard touchdown pass from Wong to Chris Monahan to make it 12-zip. They tried to go for the 2 and make it 14, but they couldn't convert. Riley and company now 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Tough sledding going straight ahead.
Gobbled up, nowhere to go. Thomas Jefferson's defense has looked strong tonight, has given up a couple costly penalties, especially on that last drive of the second half, which eventually led to the Coleman touchdown.
Walk right over there and show them to him, and he'll decipher them. We got a stats man coming up here giving us some stats.
Thank you.
Chris, why don't you go ahead and convert them into a form you can read.
I appreciate that, Matt.
Go ahead and write them down. Rolling along here, 11:15 to play in the third. 2nd and 9 now for the Majors. Over the left-hand side is Coleman, got a first down and a handful more. Still on his feet, up across midfield. All the way down inside the 35, pulled out of bounds at about the 29. Coleman with the big run for the Majors.
Coleman, and on the stop, Chris Monahan, number 9, and William Averill, number 3. But the Majors move deep
Down to the 33-yard line. Here's another look at it.
It'll be a first down.
It looks like he's going to go down, Coleman, but he still keeps going. There's one tackle he breaks. Then he's off to the races, but still here, a couple guys have to take him out of bounds. So Coleman with the big run makes it 1st and 10 for the Majors, deep in TJ territory. Here we go. Trying to go left side. Host of blue shirts are there to stop the ball carrier. What stats did you find out for us, Chris?
Well, we do have some stats, and not really surprising. However, they are rather big. For Thomas Jefferson, quarterback Matt Wong, 233 passing yards to go along with those 2 touchdown passes. They also had 35 yards accumulated on the ground. So 233 in the air in the first half for Thomas Jefferson, quarterback Matt Wong. Mount Vernon, 142 rushing yards, so flip-flop that, and only 5 passing yards.
2nd and 9 now for the Majors. Well, you had guessed Wong was over 200 yards, and you were right on the money.
Right.
Coleman still on his feet. Look out.
Carry is by number 2, Mario Coleman, and William Averill.
Coleman cracks it all the way down to the 3-yard line. I believe it's Averill coming over to make the stop.
That was Averill with the stop, who desperately tried to force. Take a look at Coleman here. Back and forth, literally in a dead stop at one point, and just squirmed his way almost for a touchdown. Came just short. You see Averill coming with a very aggressive tackle with the overhand right, trying to knock that ball loose and force a fumble. Coleman held on. Big run for Coleman, and it looks to me that they're going to get on the scoreboard a heck of a lot quicker here in the second half than they did in the first.
Majors making some good adjustments at halftime to break open their first drive here of the second half. 10:08 to play in the third quarter, a 12-6 Thomas Jefferson lead, but the Majors are knocking on the door. First and goal from the 3. Majors take their time getting up to the line of scrimmage. Now Riley brings him up.
First down.
One receiver way down on the right-hand side, you can see, one up to the left. First back through, did he get in? Looks like he was just short. Nope, touchdown, Mount Vernon.
Remember, for that touchdown, all that ball has to do is break the plane. It doesn't have to land over. It does, the ball broke the plane there. They only needed 3 yards. Take a look at the replay here.
I believe it's Alfonso Wells, the ball carrier. Yep, number 16.
Was Wells. He kind of just falls forward, gets the ball across to tie the score up at 12. And Matt, we'll see if we can finally get an extra point here.
Nobody's been able to convert the point after. This one is up, and it is good. So with 9:44 to play, Mount Vernon jumps out in front, 13-12.
Well, we saw the rushing attack by Mount Vernon on that drive, set up by Coleman's fantastic run to get it all the way down to the 3. Almost punched it in himself. But Coleman coming in here, the big story for Mount Vernon. And he is definitely leading this team. Where on the other hand, Wong, for Thomas Jefferson's offense, it's all in the air and there's not too much on the ground whatsoever.
And the Jefferson crowd here is waking up a little bit.
Yes, they are. Realize we have a football game on our hands.
Jose Paz, number 35, will kick off.
Paz teeing it up for the Majors.
They have a marching song, Thomas Jefferson does, and they wrote it down for me, but I can't say it.
Bobbled the kickoff, scooped up inside the 20. Still trying to get just over the 20. Shane Warren, the ball carrier, finally scooped it up for TJ. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Colonials up at the, looks like about the 21, 22 yard line.
Is it bad that you see the kickoff here, you see the replay.
The ball is spotted at the 20-yard
Received and
First down, Colonials.
deadly bobble there, picked up by number 21 and refused to go down at first. Number 21, of course, being Shane Warren, the wide receiver for Thomas Jefferson.
So Matt Wong brings his offense out on the field. 1st and 10 from their own 21. Wong throwing on first, got a receiver. He gets it up across the 30, looking for some outside room, but he's pulled down at about the 32.
And as I just said, Shane Warren.
Yep.
So, What made Kurt Warner have some MVP years with the Rams a few years ago is that he had great receivers. And what makes the quarterback look good is when they can catch the ball, make a good catch. Of course, that's the most important thing. But it's the yards after the catch that turns it into big plays. And these receivers are doing a great job of running their routes, showing their speed, showing their hands, making the catch, but really making some great plays after the catch.
1st and 10 now for TJ. Their own 33-yard line. Wong rolling right, looking right. Flicks it over the middle, falls incomplete. Trying to shoot it over to Chris Monahan.
Yeah, Monahan had a step on his guy too. I mean, I know it's, it sounds monogamous to say that all the time. Oh, he had a step, he was wide open, but he really was.
Monotonous. Not monogamous.
I didn't say monogamous, did I?
Yeah, that's what you said. You said it last week too, and I kept my mouth shut.
No,
yeah.
Anyway.
But it's monotonous.
Anyway, the Wong had a guy and just missed him, just underthrew him. Could have been another huge play.
Make it 2nd and 10 for Wong.
Gosh.
Got some running room. Across the 30. Quick snap move up to 35.
Yeah, that was a nice cutback, but also a nice tackle by number 72, Paul Wellman. Big defensive lineman standing at 6'3", 240.
Make it 3rd and 7 now for the Colonials. 8:33 to play in the 3rd.
Take a look at him there. His big body on the line.
Yep.
I can't believe I said that. Twice I said it?
Well, you said it last week.
That's great.
Third and 7 now for TJ. Wong with 3 receivers up to his right. Quick pitch out around the left side.
He's got a hole.
Yes, he does. Up across the 40 and up for the first down, up to the 46, 47-yard line.
Again, the option is designed for the quarterback to start the bootleg, go around the outside corner, and then wait till he's just about to get hit and then pitch it back to his tailback who's supposed to take it from there. And that's twice that we've seen the option. You take a look at Wong, just pitches it right away because he gets nailed. You see him on the ground. Big hole for the tailback. First down, Thomas Jefferson.
That's Greg Tabbitt, the ball carrier. 1st and 10 now, just upside, about the 46-yard line. Wong quickly over the right side, falls incomplete. A little too high. Trying to shoot it out there to Averill.
William Averill incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
William Averill. Of course, Matt Wong's favorite target. I commented on that before, and one of the top receivers in the region. Goes along there.
Clock at 7:40 to play here in the 3rd. 13-12, Mount Vernon. Officials sort everything out, make it 2nd and 10 now for TJ.
Looks like we're ready to go.
Wong. Gotta get rid of it.
Ooh.
Incomplete pass or fumble?
I think it might be a fumble.
Looked like his arm was going forward maybe, and I think that's the way the officials are going to go with it.
That's the Tom Brady rule right there.
And what is that rule?
Tom Brady rule is in the snowstorm game against the Raiders a few years ago. Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Where you can't tell. You see Wong here. Make sure you watch his arm. See if his arm is going forward in motion or not. It clearly was before he gets, hammered there and the ball goes loose. But if he's going forward with it, it's an incomplete pass. If he hasn't started going in forward motion, it's a fumble. That, my friends, is the Tom Brady rule.
Long on 3rd and 10. Going down the right side.
Oh!
Couldn't hold on, falls incomplete.
Number 11, E.J. Dawson with the defense on that for Mount Vernon. Otherwise, that was an unbelievable catch.
Yep, Chris Monahan almost came down with the football.
Again, you see the athletic ability that Thomas Jefferson's receivers have. I mean, this is just the most diverse group of wide receivers that I've seen all year. We've seen some pretty powerful teams, but Wong, you see why his numbers are so impressive, because his receiver core goes up and gets the ball. Great attempt.
Ryan Nicholas back to punt for TJ. Nice snap, plenty of time. Gets it away. Takes a sideway bounce, bounces off a Mount Vernon player, but it's covered up at about the 26-yard line.
I'll tell you what, when that ball hits the ground like that after a punt, I mean, it's like a live grenade. You want to get away from it, because if it touches one of your players, it becomes a live ball where it can then become a turnover, and that's what almost just happened right there. Thomas Jefferson could have recovered that ball because it deflected off the knee of one of the Mount Vernon players. Then it would have been bad news for Mount Vernon. Luckily, they recovered it, and they'll start the drive at their own 26. I don't know about a live grenade, because it's not deadly. But
no, I kind of liked it, though.
You like that?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Every now and then, man.
Yeah, I know. You're coming along. You just got to have Jill Marvin keep teaching you more and more.
Right.
Coleman around the left side. Got the first down. Man, he's fast. Look at that. All the way down inside the 30. That breaking it out the left side has been working for the Majors. That's the play Coleman scored on back in the first half.
Take a look at Coleman. Just gets the pitch from Tyler, hits the end. Nothing fancy, doesn't really make a cutback, just a stutter step, but then it's pure speed. It's off to the races. Excuse me, and you see the secondary finally bring him down after, not sure how big of a pickup it was, a 50, not sure, over a 50-yard run. Great play by Coleman, and he's
First down.
Clock stuck at 7:01 as we get ready to start this first down play. Here we go around the right-hand side. Dawson inside the 15 down to about the 13, and let's go down to Jill Marvin.
11 on the stop, William Haverhill, number 3.
They're still sorting things out with Jill. We'll go down to her as soon as she is ready.
The ball is at the
So 6:43 to play here on the third.
the Majors.
And we're just inside the 15-yard line.
as I was going to say before, Coleman really the only dagger that's going in the side here of Thomas Jefferson, and they've done a great job on defense other than stopping Coleman. Coleman with some big runs tonight.
From the TJ 13-yard line. Vernon really coming to life here in the second half. Wells, the ball carrier, just inside the 10. Now let's go down to Jill Marvin.
All right, I'm down here with Rachel Williamson, a senior for Jefferson. Tell me a little about districts. I heard that you guys finished well. How do you compare this one to last year?
It was so much more organized than last year. We had a really good routine, a really amazing squad. And we have such a young squad this year that next year we're starting to blow them away.
I saw you guys doing push-ups after every touchdown. I understand that one game you went over 50 points. What'd you guys do?
Well, for a while we did all the push-ups, but once it got to that really high point, we started counting by 5. So, 5, 10. Yeah, it did some work on us.
Big bicep.
Oh, yeah. We need those.
And I heard a rumor about a senior streaking.
We're not supposed to say anything about that, but if you keep your eyes out between third and fourth quarter, you'll get a sight.
All right, great. Now you have a cheer for us?
We have a pyramid for you, so great.
Third down.
Cheerleaders always such a big part of the action here on Friday nights. Thanks, Jill. Now on third down, trying to get the crossing pattern over the left side. Falls incomplete.
CJ Smith is incomplete. It will be a
Thanks
fourth
to
down.
Jill Marvin, our own version of Melissa Stark down there on the sidelines, getting some extra tidbits from the cheerleaders. Thanks for the, what was it called? The V? I don't know. See the replay here, almost a completion.
Yep.
Ball is on the 8-yard
Trying to get it to CJ Smith, but it falls incomplete. Bring up fourth down now. Still inside the 10 at about the 6 or 7, it's called 7-8 yard line. And now the officials want to sort things out. Timeout on the field, I believe, by Thomas Jefferson. So with the Majors knocking on the door, up by 1, 13-12. We got 4:51 remaining here in the third quarter.
Now, maybe I heard it wrong, Matt, but did she say something about somebody streaking between the third and the fourth quarter?
Yeah, she did. So we'll have to keep the cameras
Let me
on the field.
Off, I think. And what I was getting at is if it's supposed to be a secret, I don't know if she knows this is television. You know, pretty much about 200,000 people potentially can see it. I have no idea how many people live in Fairfax County.
You
but
don't?
I don't. How many?
It's over a million.
No, really?
Really?
Wow, potentially over 1 million people can watch us on Channel 35 every week?
Well, they all got to have Cox Cable.
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't realize we reached so many hearts out there.
4th and about 5 now for the Majors. They can not score and still get a first down. Riley to pass, picked off. We got a convoy down the right side.
He gets by, he's gone.
Up to midfield, hustled out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
Finally pushed out by Tyler Martin. Will Averill, the wide receiver who's usually catching touchdown passes, almost caught one again, except from the other quarterback from the other team. And if it wasn't for Martin pushing him out of bounds, you take a look at here, almost the same identical play as the previous pass.
Yep, you're right.
Except this one gets tipped. Averill picks it up. Averill, picks it up down the sidelines.
Averill, looky what I found.
Yeah, bam. I catch him on the other side too. Pushed out by Martin at, it looks like, the 45-yard line. So a 57-yard interception return for Averill. And
you counting a couple yards he was in the end zone?
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
they do that.
Sorry,
they do that in the NFL.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
So, yeah. So, TJ with 4 wideouts.
And Wong comes out firing on first down. The receiver is down just short of the first down. A nice gain of about 9 on the play.
What a turn of events. How quickly. I mean, Mount Vernon already has a 13-12 lead, and it looked like they were going to pound it in again. Thomas Jefferson comes up with the big turnover, and all of a sudden they have great, field position. So let's see if they can regain the lead here.
Now from the Mount Vernon 36, we'll call it, just short of the first down. Be second in about a foot. And TJ wants a timeout. Clock stands at 4:12 to play in the third. It's a 13-12 Mount Vernon lead.
I have a little bit of faith in me. Of course I meant an extra 2 yards in the end zone.
No, again, I wasn't saying you were wrong. I was just trying to get up to speed.
Right.
All.
Oh,
I was just trying to catch up to you.
That's cool. I can talk slower if you need me to.
That's what I need. Beautiful night for high school football. You've got one more week of the regular season, so make sure to get out to your local high school and take in a football game next Friday night. And then it's into the playoffs.
What do we got next week? We got Robinson at Annandale, right?
Yes, we do. We'll be over at Annandale High School, just one of the greatest venues for high school football in Northern Virginia.
And having Robinson come in, what a way to finish off the regular season.
We'll get another chance to see Lucas Caparelli before the Rams start their playoff run.
I know we're not allowed to show favorites. We're supposed to, not show favorites being broadcast. We're supposed to be neutral, but I know you like Robinson. I know it. I know it.
Second down now for the Colonials. Long back to pass, looking down right. Almost caught. Nice job chucking it down the middle to the right.
That was Shane Warren.
Yep, Shane Warren.
For 21, almost with the Willie Mays catch there. I don't even think he had any idea that the ball was coming from Wong. Kind of just looked up, straight up. Didn't even look over his right or left shoulder, and there was the ball. Almost came up with that would have been a top 10 play. Look at this. Looked up at the last second. That would have been on SportsCenter's top 10, I believe. I don't know if ESPN
looked like he was looking to the left, and it went over his right shoulder.
Great.
That was all the difference between that and 6 points.
Again, a great attempt by the wide receivers of Thomas Jefferson.
Was it me laying on this court? Is that why our headsets are going in and out?
I didn't want to put you out there, but I think it is.
Okay. Back off then, dude.
TJ trying to keep it on the ground. And I wonder if they're going to call that a fumble. Mount Vernon wants him to.
Looks like he's got enough for the first down. It's not my board nearly as much as it is you trying to walk out the door.
It's your board.
I think that's the problem here.
When we pick the places here, I always let you, because you're the veteran here. I always let you pick the place where you want to be. You stuck me behind the wall. So, of course, I have to maneuver a little bit to see what's going on in the game.
You don't like the obstructed view seats?
Not as much, no. If I had a choice, I'd pick the non-obstructed seats.
Okay, I'll remember that next week.
But hey, that's okay.
Clock stands at 3:42 to play here in the third.
You like to see me drowned, I think, sometimes. It entertains you.
It is enough for a first down.
All right.
So TJ keeps their drive alive just inside the 25-yard line.
3:42 left to go in the third quarter, and TJ currently down 13-12 to Mount Vernon, but right now banging on the door.
Wong brings his Colonials up to the line. 3 receivers out to the left-hand side, nobody down to the right. Wong looking left, got to run with it. He's got some room on the right side. He's got enough for the first down.
On the stop for the Majors, Stephen Beach, number 56.
That was number 56, Stephen Beach, linebacker, 5'7", 200-pound junior for Mount Vernon. Wong has taken some serious hits tonight. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's not just when he tucks the ball and runs with it and he's out in the open field. Obviously, he doesn't slide. This is the high school level. It's rare that you see a quarterback slide at high school. But he's been getting licked all night long, and not only that, but in the backfield after he lets the pass go, he waits. He's like Terry Bradshaw. He waits till the last second, and then he goes down. He's staying in the pocket, taking the hit.
Wong on 1st and 10 from the 23 of Mount Vernon. Airing it out down the left-hand side. Falls incomplete. Trying to get it to Chris Monahan. Falls incomplete.
That was either going to go to Monahan or Corey Thomas, the defensive back for Mount Vernon. The ball went up there, and that's what they do with Randy Moss over in Minnesota. Culpepper just kind of throws it up there and lets Moss go after it. Lets Moss score the touchdown himself, and that's what they did there, and he almost came up with a completion.
To make it 2nd and 10 now for the Colonials. TJ trying to get back in the lead. They had a 12-point lead in the first half, and now they're down by 1. Wong with a quick pitch, trying to get around the right side. A little slick out there. Greg Tabbitt, the ball carrier, almost like he was skating on ice as he tried to get around that right side corner.
That's funny because it makes you wonder why the field is so slippery out there. We haven't really had any kind of rain or condensation of any kind, or whatever you want to call it. Precipitation, condensation, and but the players on a bunch of different plays have slipped out there. So
3rd and 6, we'll call it, for TJ.
And the grass playing a part, and we see Wong in the shotgun with many wideouts.
Wong out of the shotgun all night. Wong with the fake, looking left, got to run. Got some pressure. Gets it inside the 10, hustled out of bounds at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down, and that just shows you how versatile, how dangerous this junior quarterback Wong is, because that was a crazy play. That was a fake handoff that was supposed to suck the D in, maybe think the defensive backs get off the wide receivers a little bit, then come back, find a receiver. Nobody was open, so he scrambled, beat like 5 defenders to the corner, almost got enough for a touchdown, but did pick up the first down. Wong showing his speed of his legs right there.
Wong picks up 1st and goal now for the Colonials at your 5-yard line of Mount Vernon. Straight ahead he goes, big hole. Not quite to the goal line, just.
Yeah, just short.
Nice big hole around the right side of that line for Wong. The white shirts showed up to shut the door, so now it'll be 2nd and goal. The football almost right on that goal line.
We are inside the 1-yard line.
1:24 to play here in the third. Wong. Doesn't look like he got it.
He only needed about a foot, but the referees have not made a signal yet.
He's got to go higher when he goes into that line. He's
He's
got to
gotta
do the
be
big leap over
He's
the
got to be
top.
like Walter Payton and LaDainian Tomlinson and just jump over everybody.
He's got to give a Lambeau leap into the end zone.
Lambeau leap.
So now 3rd and goal for TJ.
Of course, would be the Robert A. Evans leap. Here.
Was he a leaper?
I'm not sure. Who would out in Lambeau?
3rd and goal from the 1. Wong, there's the leap.
And he
Stuffed
dropped
again at the
Are they
line.
going to give the touchdown or not? I'm not sure.
Nope.
Recovered.
Official stands right there at the goal line again. So
Recovered.
it'll be 4th down.
Excuse me, Matt. Recorded by number 42, Stephen Lee. Now, he went up like we just talked about, lost the ball in midair. Now, I would think that would make it a live ball. Recovered by a Thomas Jefferson player on the 1-foot line and kind of crawled his way into the end zone, but the refs did not signal a touchdown. And we have a Mount Vernon player injured, I think, down there.
Yep, we do. Clock stands at 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Time for everybody to get a breather. Here's another look at Wong's last leap.
Here's the Lambeau leap.
Big surge. Plenty of room. There he goes up. Yeah, he was well short there. The football came on. I think you're right.
Yep.
But if you can see it, can we see that one more time, you guys? It looked like when he picked it up, though, he was short of the goal line still.
But if he wasn't being touched by a Mount Vernon defensive player,
no, this is high school football. You're down, you're down.
You're down, you're down. Now you don't have to be getting touched.
Yeah, here's another look at it. See how early the ball comes out as he goes up. I think it's much earlier than we've been thinking. There it's up, there it's out. There it is. I guess not. But finally it comes down. I guess they're going to say his forward progress stopped before he fumbled. So now 4th and goal. Here comes Wong again. This time he's in. Touchdown, TJ.
Wow. Matt Wong.
So Matt Wong, time and time again, finally punches it in for the TJ touchdown.
That wasn't the right way. That was the Wong way. 1-yard touchdown run for the quarterback who has participated on all 3 touchdowns here tonight.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How long have you been waiting to use that?
You know what? I've been waiting. I've been waiting at least 10 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Everybody I talked to this week who we said we were doing this game made some kind of play on his last name.
Right.
Because everybody knows about Matt Wong and the season he's been having this year.
Whew.
So TJ gets back on top, trying to add to it. This one is right, it looks like. Yes, it is. No good. So with 10 seconds to play in the third, it's 18-13. TJ back on top by 5.
Now I'm just going to update everybody on the statistics here for Matt Wong, just to show you what kind of incredible season he's had. We've played 7 3/4 of a game, or no, 8 3/4 of a game this season. He has accounted for 18 passing touchdowns, along with 14 rushing touchdowns. You see it here in the shotgun as he has been all night. Wide open hole, nothing fancy, gets across
the got there easy that time.
Not messing around. He says, I'm not doing the Lambo leap on this one, just gets it across the goal line and gives his team the lead, 18-13. Again, though, failing on the PAT attempt. That's 3 touchdowns and 3 no extra points. So, sorry I caught you to yawn there.
Yeah, you did. Mario Coleman back deep to receive for the Majors.
So in not even 9 games, 8 3/4 games, Matt Wong has been affiliated with 32 touchdowns. So that means he's affiliated with, on the average, over 4 touchdowns a game, either passing or throwing it, either throwing it or running it in himself. That's phenomenal. A little bit of math there.
What would you do if you ever lost Matt Wong?
I don't know. I'd just go in the bleachers. You don't even need me.
Yeah. They'd have to go in the bleachers to find another quarterback. Coleman picks this one up at the 11. No, he doesn't. You just have to fall on it. And then he's finally hit by TJ. I'm with Mr. Coleman. He was down.
Yep.
That was kind of some late hits there by the blue shirts.
It was. It was like he got hit twice. Now, you said that the high school rule, you're down, you're down. And he was definitely down. And, if anything, if they weren't sure if they should touch him or not, the TJ special, the wedge busters, I like to call them, could have just came down and maybe brushed him along the shoulder pad just to touch him while he was down. But 2 of them came down helmet first on him.
Yep.
Coleman looking to the ref for a flag, but no flags thrown.
So just over the 10-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Majors. 2 seconds left here in the third quarter. Riley with the pitcher on the left side. Coleman looking for some room. Still on his feet. They got to escort him almost all the way out of bounds. Gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. So we've played 3.
Oh, geez.
And here come your streakers down in front of us.
Keep the cameras on.
There you go. I'm betting they're seniors. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, 18-13 at the end of the third.
I'll give you $10 if you go down and run alongside of them.
Oh, I don't think I could catch him, Chris.
Well, $10? Do it. So you see the senior streakers here on senior night. You see one late bloomer there coming up behind the pack. Thankfully, they all had some clothes on. And we start this fourth quarter with an invigorating crowd here. I'm not sure you see a lot of parents with their cameras out. I don't know if we'll find these on eBay or not, but
you check when you get home and let us know next week. Okay?
I will. I'll use that as material for next week.
There you go.
I will.
See, we take care of everything. Take care of next week tonight.
Yeah, we get involved in the community. We really participate. Fairfax Sports Network, along with Cox Cable Channel 35, we want to be involved with the community.
And speaking of Cox 35, we want to remind you all these great replays you've been seeing last week and this week, all due to the great help we received from Cox Communications. They've made it all possible. And we hope you're enjoying all the different looks we can give you now with our new replay capabilities.
It's not only the replay capabilities, the camera angles. I mean, the cameras themselves and the what are we on? These headphone things that we have, headsets. And everything has just been upgraded, and the progress that we've been making as a television station has gained greatly because of our equipment, and it's just great to have it.
We've got a fresh 12 minutes on the clock here for the Mount Vernon Majors. Down 18-13 as we begin the fourth quarter. They'll start 2nd and 6, we'll call it.
First down.
Just short of the 15-yard line of Mount Vernon. Trying to go around the right-hand side. E.J. Dawson, the ball carrier. Gain of about 2 or 3. Get him up just like about the 19-yard line.
Dawson giving Coleman and Tyler a breather there. There's been little and almost no passing game for Mount Vernon tonight. Thomas Jefferson's defense has taken that out. However, they have not been able to take out Coleman, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing a heavy dose of him here in the last quarter.
3rd and a long 1 now for the Majors. Their own 19-yard line. Trying to get over that right side of the line. It's going to be close to the first down. Finally getting up, couldn't quite see who that was.
Majors moved the ball not very far into.
I was going to guess that was Alfonso Wells, the ball carrier.
Looked like Wells.
Ball on the 20-yard
Clock rolling along inside of 11 minutes to play now in the ball game. Patrick Riley up to center, going the distance here tonight for the Mount Vernon Majors.
First down.
Receivers down to the left and the right. Riley on the keeper, still on his feet, up across the 30 to about the 33, and up for a first down.
Stephen Lee, number 42.
Thank everybody here at Thomas Jefferson High School for their hospitality tonight. We've had a lot of people up here in the booth giving us a lot of help.
And you got your hot chocolate, didn't you?
You know what? I didn't even bring it up. You brought it up, okay? You brought up the hot chocolate. You brought it up. It's my first cup of hot chocolate of the season, and I'm loving it over here. The best thing since sliced bread.
You know, we're happy if you're happy.
You're happy? Yeah,
Make
if I don't talk about it.
1st and 10 now for Mount Vernon. Their own 38-yard line. Just outside of 10 minutes to play. Halfback pass. Coleman lets it go down the middle of the field. Broken up. Coleman trying to shoot it long for C.J. Smith, and it falls incomplete. Jill Marvin's got another report for us. Let's go down to Jill.
All right, before we talk to a senior cheerleader, now we have a senior band person. We have Alex Navin here with us. Alex, tell us about, you are the drum captain of the team, correct?
I am.
And tell us about some of the awards that you've won.
Well, we've performed in 4 or 5 competitions this year. The drum line itself has won 2 Best Drumline Awards this year. The marching band as a whole has won 3 of the 5 competitions, so we've done really well.
I noticed after the performance, you guys had soda bottles lined up on the track.
That'd be a switch, and the switch is a tradition that was started a couple years ago by some seniors. They basically took it to the infamous band camp, and band camp was basically they just started drinking switch, and everybody likes it now.
How does this feel to be your last, possibly your last performance?
It's kind of sad, you know. At the beginning, you know, all these traditions and stuff, you kind of just feel, you know, it was great. 4 years were great.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jill. Make it 3rd and 8 now for Mount Vernon. Up at their own 35-yard line. Clock rolling along, 9:20 to play in this ball game. Mount Vernon trying to come back. They're down by 5. Here we go around the right side. Dawson drop for a loss.
Carry is by number 11, E.J. Dawson in on the stop.
Thomas Jefferson's defense being very stingy since the last Coleman touchdown. Yeah, not even Coleman touchdown, but the last Coleman drive, which got him near the goal line. And since then, they really have not given up anything, forcing Mount Vernon to punt here. Just under 9 minutes left to go in the game, and Thomas Jefferson with the 5-point advantage.
Gadiaga in for the punt. And it'll roll down, and they'll down it at about the 43-yard line. So Thomas Jefferson will take over 1st and 10. Good field position with 8:34 left in this game, and they're up by 5.
See one of the star wide receivers there. That was number 9, Chris Monahan. Along with number 3, William Averill. Dynamic duo.
Long and company now, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Long looking right, throwing right. Got Monahan, who's quickly wrapped up at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, wrapped up by number 1, Brandon Beach. As I was saying before, when Wong was making the completions to his receivers, it seemed like they had all day. All day. Where were the defensive backs? They weren't anywhere within 15 yards. And right there you see Beach, who was right on top of it. As soon as Averill made the catch, made the tackle, even backed him up a yard or two and held it to a very short gain.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pass completion. Long looking left, got to run with it. Got some pressure. Gets to the corner, gets up across midfield.
Again, Wong right there decided to keep it, keep it on the ground for himself, try to pick up the first down with his legs instead of his arm because he couldn't find anybody open, and he went to the left sideline. Instead of running out of bounds, Wong, puts his head down and goes right into 2 big linebackers and takes another lick, gets right back up and comes back to the huddle. So Wong really showing, his talents today, but also his toughness.
Just over midfield, 3rd and 1 now. 7:20 to play. Along with the fake, he'll keep it, trying to go to the left side.
He's got
lots of room.
Oh.
Gets it down just inside the 20-yard line.
Tripped up by his own guy, Blake Thomas, offensive lineman, was all the way downfield with him, was the lead blocker. And when I yelled lead blocker, that's all he needed was 1 blocker. But kind of got stuck behind him and was tripped up. Otherwise, that might have been a touchdown run for Wong.
Make it 1st and 10 now from the Mount Vernon 18-yard line.
Take a look at number 7 here. He's got the lead blocker, number 75, with only 11 in front of him. But because he gets tripped up, no touchdown for Wong.
Yep, tried to cut it back right, tripped over his man's feet. Now 1st and 10 from the 18. Here we go right, throwing right. Almost caught, falls incomplete. That one hung up there longer than I thought it would.
Obviously, you put the ball in Wong's hands, you let him pass the ball, he's going to make things happen.
And when you're throwing to Will Averill, there's even a better chance.
Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. But with the, they got the lead here in the 4th quarter, and only 6.5 minutes left. I would think that maybe they keep it on the ground, burn the clock out, but they're not. They're passing every time, and on every incomplete pass, the clock is stopping, just leaving more time on the clock for Mount Vernon.
2nd and 10 now from the 18. 6:28 to play in the game. Warren in motion to the top. Quick pitch around the right-hand side. Got a nice hole inside the 10, close to the 6. Greg Tabbitt, the ball carrier.
On the stop, Brandon Beach of the Majors.
Greg Tabbitt with the red cleats there. The only guy on the whole field with the red cleats. Stands out. Nice run, and that keeps the ball rolling.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line of Mount Vernon. Clock keeps rolling as well. 6:07 to play in the game. TJ looking for a little insurance score. Long with the keeper, straight up the middle. Stopped at about the 4.
Brought down by a host of red shirts along with Chris Cole.
Chris Cole.
Linebacker standing at 5'10", 180-pound senior from Mount Vernon.
Also on the stop.
Again, Wong running straight at him. Take a look at the replay here. You'll see what I mean. He's not doing anything fancy. He's running straight up the middle, straight into their gut of linebackers. He's not backing down. Go ahead and hit me. I'll get back up.
Give him a yard. 2nd and goal from the 4. Takes his time. Somebody jumped.
Yep.
Flag on the play.
Again, you see Wong disappointed there. But, you know, pretty much been coming out of the shotgun almost every play tonight, right?
Yep.
And clock was winding down, and not sure if the count got messed up, but there definitely was a false start, and that's going to back him up 5 yards.
Ball placed back at the 9.
Back to the 9-yard line.
Reminder, the last game, regular game of the season for the Colonials will be
2nd and goal now out from the 9 for TJ.
next Friday evening. Final
Clock
game
still
regular
rolling.
season against Edison.
5:06 to play in the game.
Evening at Edison.
Wong shifts things around a little bit. 3 receivers up to his left-hand side. That's where he'll go with it. Looks like Monahan.
Are you kidding me?
Touchdown, TJ.
Chris Monahan with the catch, okay? And if you didn't believe me before about the run after the catch, that wasn't a touchdown pass. That was a touchdown run after the pass. Monahan made that happen with an unbelievable...
No, I'm going to take that back. That's Averill.
Excuse me, Averill. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Averill with an unbelievable cutback to get into the end zone. You take a look at him there running off the field, number 3. And that was just an unbelievable run after the catch for Averill. That's why Averill is one of the top receivers in the region. That's why he is Wong's favorite receiver. Looks like we finally have.
No, we do not.
I spoke too soon. The kick had the length and the distance and the height, but no good. What is that? 0 for 4, 5?
That's over.
I lost track. that's 0 for PA attempts. Thankfully, their lead, their cushion is cushioned enough where hopefully won't come back to haunt them.
4:53 left on the board. 24-13. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Take a look. It's a quick out to Averill. Watch this cutback he does. Bam. He leaves the guy with broken ankles and gets it to the end zone. Unbelievable. That's the 3rd touchdown pass for Matt Wong tonight. He now has, I don't know, 1,000 for the year. I lost my papers.
One more look at it.
Watch the cutback. Breaks that. You know, that's like a crossover in basketball. It just leaves him hanging there. Great, great, great catch by Averill.
Number 81, Jay Singh, the kickoff.
Well, guys, I'd be impressed if it was about 20 degrees colder. But still, an A for the effort.
Right.
Mario Coleman back. Ready to kick it away.
What a bounce.
Yep, scooped up at the 5.
The return is by E.J. Dawson, number
TJ pushed back inside the 20, about the 17.
Finally brought down by number 9, Chris Monahan.
stop for the Colonials, Chris Monahan, number
Speaking of the push-ups,
first down.
they've been doing a lot of them tonight. 24 points up on the board. And maybe the only people in the building that aren't too upset about the PATs not getting converted.
I bet you're right.
Saved them, what, 4 or 5 push-ups?
Yeah.
For all the
They
push-ups,
gotta be happy with that.
yeah.
Yeah. 4:44 on the clock left in the ball game here.
First down, Majors.
11-point lead for the Majors. For TJ, rather, excuse me. Majors trying to make something happen here.
60 push-ups tonight.
Here we go around the right side. Dawson, nice gainer, close to the first down.
E.J. Dawson.
60 push-ups, Matt. Could we do 60 push-ups?
Yeah, they're not doing them all at once, though.
But still.
Come on.
Come on.
You could do it if you spread it out over 2 hours.
Yeah, I could. As long as I had some water breaks. Could you? Could you do 60 at once?
Not right now. I
No.
could. A couple of years ago, I could have.
Right.
So it was enough for a first down.
We'll see if Riley keeps the ball in the air a little bit, keep the ball rolling.
First down,
Majors have to work quickly. Clock rolling, just outside of 4 minutes left in this game. Riley to throw, down the middle, wide open receiver, couldn't hold on.
Oh, that was it. That was the play that would have. Number 4,
Gadiaga.
Hakeem Gadiaga was
nobody close.
There was nobody around him, and that was it. It was a touchdown. Had a touchdown written all over it. And
it's not my board.
It's your board.
It's not even touching it.
Take a look at Tyler dropping back. Just shoots it straight up in the air. Gadiaga wide open. Nobody around him. And he drops the pass.
So within 10 yards of him.
Wow.
Second down.
What a big play that could have been for Mount Vernon.
2nd and 10 now for the Majors. Does stop the clock though at 4:03. Here we go around the right side. Dawson's got some running room. And it looks like he might have the first down.
Mount Vernon, hopes and dreams are not shut out yet. There's still 4 minutes left. Anything can happen. They get a touchdown here, maybe an offside kick. You never know. And they are still moving the ball with their talented running back core of Wells and Coleman and another guy in there. Running back by committee for Mount Vernon. They got 3 solid backs. And take a look at Monahan, one of the receivers there.
They do pick up the first down, keep this drive alive. Clock stands at 3:55. Riley with 1 receiver high, 1 down low. Trying to go left was Dawson, but tough sledding as the blue shirts were there to stop him.
Tough to sled when there's no snow. And right there on that play, it's cold outside, no snow. Thomas Jefferson's defense really stepping up.
Make it 2nd and 10 now for the Majors. Clock rolling. Inside of 3.5 minutes to play.
Second down.
Riley on 2nd and 10. Pass he will. Flicks it down the left. And it is picked off by TJ. Shane Warren.
One of the things about having great wide receivers with great hands usually means that they're on the defensive side, playing cornerback and safety, where they get to utilize their great hands. We've seen that tonight with interceptions from both Warren and was the other one by Monahan? I'm not sure. You see, take a look at the replay. Watch the defensive back go up and get it. That wasn't an easy interception, folks. That was a heck of a catch. And with 3 minutes left, that might have been the final hurrah for Mount Vernon's offense.
C.J. Smith doing a great job to tackle Warren after the interception to keep him from advancing the ball in any direction. So 3:08 left on the clock, and now TJ 1st and 10 from their own 42.
Wong still in the shotgun.
Long, quick pitch around the right side. He's got some room up across midfield, down to the 43. That is not a fumble.
No, I don't think that's going to be a fumble.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, he was definitely down.
Looked like the ground popped it out.
Yeah, the Majors were definitely praying for a fumble there. That's the only thing that, the only lifeline they had left. The only thing that could have saved this game for them is if they take a look here. You see the quick pitch. And the ball did not come out until he hit the ground.
Yeah.
So,
but there is a flag down. It's going to go against TJ.
He's going to back TJ back, steal the first down away from them. But still inside 3 minutes left. As long as TJ has the ball, they're still up by 2 scores. They have plenty of a cushion. And Mount Vernon needs the ball right now.
So it takes the ball all the way back to the 35-yard line with 2:54 to play in this game. Don't forget, after the game, Jill Marvin will be rounding up our player of the game and possibly our winning coach, so stick around for that. Here come the Colonials. Long, down the middle's got a man.
Are you kidding me?
This is Averill. Still on his feet.
My goodness.
Touchdown, TJ.
William Averill with back-to-back touchdown catches, and this kid is just astonishing me. This is one of the best high school wide receivers I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know how many passing yards that is for Wong, but that was an unbelievable play.
57-yard touchdown strike, we'll call it.
Wow. Look at Averill down there. You see the crowd into it, and they just ceases to amaze me with these wide receivers. again, the receivers make the quarterback makes the receivers, and they have a great connection together.
Now let's see if we can get a point after. What do you think?
You know what? I'm going to give him a drum roll or something. We'll do it. Producers, don't get mad at me. I'm giving them a drum roll.
It is, oh no, blocked.
Man.
Another one is no good.
Man.
So with 2:35 on the clock, it's a 30-13 Thomas Jefferson lead.
So that's I believe it's 0 for 6. Take a look at Wong, drop back. And this is like you said, an 80-yard play. Bombs it to Averill, gets nailed in the process. But watch Averill after the catch.
Look how open he was.
Yeah, almost goes down by Dawson, number 11.
Yep.
Should have went down right there. Dawson had him. Touchdown for Averill.
57 yards.
57 yards to add to Wong's total. Not to mention how many reception yards that Averill probably has. Came in as one of the top receivers in the region tonight. Definitely hasn't declined since then.
The Colonials will tee it up to kick off once again. Really stretching it out now. 30-13 with 2:35 to play.
So the cheerleaders back on the ground. This is almost like boot camp for them. They had 66 push-ups now tonight. 96. They've done way more push-ups than I can handle. You got to feel bad for them, but at least they're in good shape as long as Wong keeps throwing touchdown passes.
Big, deep kick all the way back in the end zone, and that one will come out for Mount Vernon. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Keeping them warm, too, I think. But very impressive night for this Thomas Jefferson team. We've been excited to come here and see them all year, Matt. You talked about it a couple times. Just because, we don't usually cover the National District, and it's nice to get a change of pace. All week, you even said all season, all we've heard is this quarterback, Matt Wan. How good is he? We've talked to our friends about him. And he's put on nothing short but a great display of fireworks for us tonight.
I think even more impressive with TJ has been that they're ranked in the top 10 in the state in the Division 5 rankings. And this week they are at 8th, right behind Woodson, who is 7th. But when was the last time TJ was ranked in the state in football?
I'm going to say never. I mean, think about that. The school started in 1986. They made the playoffs in '88. That's their only time in their history they made the playoffs. So for them to have a powerhouse team like this year, watch out. They don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Fans don't even know what to do. Like, wow, we usually have a great track team, a great wrestling team, whatever. Hey, by the way, we got a great football team. I don't know if you remember that. We have a football team. Fantastic.
So with 2:35 on the clock, Mount Vernon down 30-13. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
I'm going to go see if I can get some more stats for us, Matt.
Sure, fire away. Riley on 1st and 10, guns it down the right-hand side, falls incomplete. Trying to get it to E.J. Dawson down the right side, but for no gain. Now 2nd and 10 from the 20. EJ's got to feel good about this one.
Yeah, I think they pretty much have it locked up.
Now you know why TJ is in the driver's seat for this National District. Next up will be the Edison Eagles, who's only lost this year. I can't even tell you who their only loss. I guess they don't have a conference loss, do they?
No, they haven't. They lost to Westfield.
Yeah. No, I mean Edison.
Oh, Edison. Oh, Edison.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Let me look that up.
I know Edison. Yeah, like you said, they're at Edison next week for their last game. Who is currently 2nd in the National District.
Yeah. Edison's got a couple losses, one to Woodson, one to Centerville, but none in this National District.
Right, which is why they're so high up in the district.
So if they can win, if Edison wins tonight, boy, that'll be quite the ball game next weekend.
Showdown next week.
Yep.
TJ and Edison.
If Edison got by Yorktown.
Thomas Jefferson's high school is like I said, is known for their academics. I mean, that's how they breed. If you graduate here with a top GPA and top SAT scores, you can pretty much go to any school in the country. Yeah, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but not by much. I mean, I think they've won the National Merit Finalists, which is like a scholarship competition basically. Like 17 of the last 18 years, I believe the stat I got was. So for them to have a football team on top of that, You could combine the brains and the brawns.
Are you trying to say
I'm
football
not saying
players
that
are
football
stupid?
players can't
Is
be
that what you're
stupid.
trying
I
to
knew
say?
you were going to say that.
Is that what you're
I
saying?
knew you were going to say that.
Are you saying most football players are stupid?
I'm not going to say that, but what I'm saying is you take a school like TJ that's known for their academics, you give them a powerhouse, smash-mouth football team, that's a scary combination. Football players are stupid.
Tim O'Reilly down there in the middle of his blue shirt Colonials. Got to be happy. Here we are up here.
How
Thanks
you
for
doing?
joining us on Cox 35 FSN Game of the Week.
This is my hot chocolate right here.
There it is, right there.
Double-fisted.
He loves it. You can't get enough of it. Thanks for joining us. You can watch this ball game 6 p.m. every night of the week. 5 a.m. 5 a.m.
It looks like number 13 is injured for Mount Vernon. He's being helped off the field by a coach and the trainer, number 13.
That's the quarterback.
Yeah, it's Patrick Riley. That's the starting quarterback. And you know, that's the worst thing that could have happened at a bad time. He stands at 5'9", 170 pounds. He's the senior quarterback leader of this Mount Vernon team. And with 2:19 left to go in the game, that's not something you want to see happen. See who the backup is.
2:19 remaining in the game. The ball is at the 29-yard line. It is third and
So Riley goes out. Maybe Jonathan Seidman, 22. We'll have to wait and see when they come up to the line here.
See who their emergency quarterback is.
Well, I guess it could be Shane Moore.
Could be one of the two.
No, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong.
Flip-flop that bad boy around.
Looking at the wrong
Right,
roster.
Yeah, you botched it.
Number
That's okay.
15. Chapman Kennedy. Kennedy back to pass on first down. Gets it out there to Dawson.
Doesn't waste any time.
No, he
involved
doesn't.
in the game.
Comes out throwing. He knows they're inside of 2 minutes.
Yep.
Got to come out throwing.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see if they go with the no-huddle offense. And
he got out of bounds, stopped the clock with 1:50 to play.
take a look at number 2.
1st and 10 now from the 38 of Mount Vernon.
Connor Bussamano. Trying to get some names in there.
Kennedy in at relief now for the injured Riley. Throwing left. Got a receiver.
Heck of a catch.
Yep. Coleman does a nice diving reception. Get it up across the 40 to the 43.
Coleman showing that he could also make some catches as well. That was a nice diving catch.
Clock rolling along. 1:30 to play in the ball game. Kennedy got some pressure. Gets it away. Ball's incomplete.
That was a smart play. Threw it out of bounds. He avoided the sack. He stopped the clock. I mean, obviously it's too little too late for this Mount Vernon team, but you know, for a backup quarterback to come in out of nowhere like that because of the starter getting hurt, he's playing well. But hats off to this Thomas Jefferson team on the offense and defensive side. Came in here with high expectations and we got it.
They had only been allowing just under 12 points a game coming into tonight. And tonight it's only been 13 points. 3rd and 5 now for the Majors. Coleman trying to go right. Still on his feet, still going. Gets it across the 45, close to the first down.
It's funny, you see Coleman, he's always in a pile of players and you think he's down. You're about ready to call the next play and all of a sudden you see him pop out of nowhere. All right, I think we have another Mount Vernon player down.
We do too.
See, number 61 for Mount Vernon,
Which I don't have.
Which I don't have either. But Justin Williams, we just were told, is the injured player for Mount Vernon.
So 1:09 left in this ball game. It'll be 4th and very short for Mount Vernon. And we're going to take this opportunity to take a quick timeout, put some new tapes in the machine, and we'll be right back. You're watching the FSN Cox 35 Game of the Week.
Afternoon, sir. Bill Butler, how are you?
Good.
Good. Well, prepare to be great, my friend. I present the Turbo Suck 3000.
Actually, you know, my show's about to start.
Don't worry, Dave. The Cox DVR is set to record every episode. You can watch it when he's done.
Perfect. I'll just need an outlet. There you go.
Watch your favorite shows on your schedule with the DVR from Cox. TV waits for you.
Now you can get into the deep crevices here in the corner.
Hello, Cox viewers. I'm Hank Azaria.
And I'm Oliver Platt from the new Showtime original series, Huff.
On Huff, I play a psychiatrist on the brink. Oliver plays an ethically challenged attorney.
Oh, really? Perhaps our viewers can decide that for themselves. Join us on Showtime, Sundays at 10, 9 Central for Huff, right here on Cox.
Go to Cox.com for more information about Huff and to order Showtime and Cox Digital Cable.
Okay, here's the breakdown. Over there, you got the Employee of the Month. You sell hard, you sit at the best table. And of course, with NBA League Pass, it sells itself. The suits, they're management. You got the dunkers, the 6 men, those are the shot blockers. And that, my friend, that's the champions table. One day, Elton, one day.
Catch the free preview. Then for more exciting action, order NBA League Pass, available with Cox Digital Cable.
What, 30-13, Thomas Jefferson in front with 1:09 left on the clock. You haven't missed a thing. Still working on the injured Mount Vernon Major down at the center of the field. Don't forget, Joe Marvin will be coming right up for the post-game interviews. Jim Lapp high atop the press box.
Hey, Jim.
With our game camera tonight.
All right, so I have this, Matt. Hopefully everything is still on, and it looks like Justin's going to be okay. He's being helped off the field there.
Slowly making his way off with 1:09 left in this game.
It is 4th and inches for the Majors. The ball
4th and inches now for Mount Vernon. Kennedy in and relief. Oh, that stacked eye. This is Coleman up through the middle, going to the right, still on his feet, up inside the 35, down close to the 30.
Again, another example of, thinking that Coleman's down for a second, but he's really not. He just bounces off and he stays on his feet. It's a great job of balancing himself.
There you go.
Coleman. Don't speak.
Had you for a second there. Now we can hear
Hey,
ourselves.
how about that?
What was it?
I'm not really known for my,
Probably that connection right there.
Oh, the one that I have my hand on?
Yeah, the boy with his finger in the dike.
Right.
You can't move.
I think I have to stay here, though, the rest
First
of the
and 10 for Kennedy down the right side. Picked off.
Oh, jeez. Who was that? Sullivan, number 15. And